Deep in the mountains of Japan, there's a waterfall where the air is always cool and silk threads catch the moonlight. A beautiful woman waits there, and she would so love some company. Take her hand if you like. Just know, the prettiest webs are the hardest to escape. Tonight, the Jorogumo. Yokai night. Tonight, a woman whose smile becomes a web. The Jorogumo is, quite simply, a spider that has lived too long. The old belief, when a spider reaches 400 years, it gains magical power and the ability to take human shape.
Oh. Like the spider family on Mount Gumo in Demon Slayer.
Those are her grandchildren, yes, a whole mountain of them. But the original needs no army. She picks one shape and one victim at a time, and unlike her descendants, she was never in a hurry. Hold that thought for the end.
And the shape it chooses is
always a beautiful young woman. Charming, gentle, irresistible, the perfect trap, because nobody runs from a lovely smile.
Until it's too late.
Far too late. Her name is written with characters meaning a binding bride, and binding is exactly what she does best. Toriyama Seki Yen, the great Edo period cataloguer of spirits, that's the 1700s, drew her into his bestiary as the entangling bride. But the idea is older than any drawing. Of all Japan's monsters, this one is built on how a predator actually behaves.
But why a spider, of all things?
Think about how a spider actually hunts. It waits, unseen. It builds something beautiful and lets the prey walk in. Japan even named a real spider after her, the Jorogumo orb weaver, whose golden webs and oversized females you can meet in any autumn garden.
So they gave that patience a human face.
And it became the perfect monster, a warning, too, about beauty that asks for nothing and takes everything. In an age that prized a modest, careful life, the Jorogumo was seduction itself, dressed in silk. The most famous tale comes from a real place, Joren Falls in Izu. A woodcutter rests there and feels a thread loop gently around his foot.
Just one thread.
At first. Wary, he quietly slips it off and ties it to a tree stump instead, and watches the whole stump tear out of the earth and vanish into the plunge pool. Other tellings say a full-grown tree went in, roots and all.
So you can outwit her.
Sometimes. The men who don't notice the thread are simply never seen again, wrapped in silk somewhere under the green water, where the pool is said to be deeper than anyone has ever measured.
Was the woodcutter the only one to escape?
There's a monk's version too. Warned by the spirit of the falls itself, a visiting priest feels the thread settle on his ankle, calmly moves it to a root, and bows to the water before walking away. Respect, the tale says, is also a kind of armor. Some tellings end gently. The Jorogumo, grateful to one kind man, becomes a guardian of the falls instead, proof that even she could be more than a monster, if she chose. No yokai really is. That's what makes them more than scary stories. They can change, and so, the tales suggest, can we? Here's the detail I love, the Jorogumo doesn't pounce. She performs. She plays the biwa beautifully, so the music covers the soft sound of silk being spun around your ankles. And everything she offers is part of the web. The fire, the shelter, the smile, travelers who accepted them were found, if at all, as quiet bundles of silk high in the trees.
That is horribly elegant.
She keeps houses, too. A lone traveler is offered lodging by a beautiful young widow, and wakes, if he's lucky, tangled in threads with the house gone cold around him. And she has sisters in the trade, all of them lovely at first glance. In old Edo's pleasure quarters, the Kejoro, a gorgeous courtesan who turns around to show nothing but hair where a face should be. On the western coasts, the Nure Ona, a woman's head on a serpent's body, who hands you her baby to hold so you cannot run. And on Kyushu's night beaches, the Iiso Ona, who calls fishermen down to the surf and drinks them dry.
So half of old Japan's coastline was flirting with death.
Which was the point? The men who lived were the ones who distrusted a gift too good to be true. Old Japan even had a rule of thumb: a spider in the morning is good luck, so let it live; a spider at night is a thief, or worse. And the Jorogumo, of course, only ever calls at night. Here's what surprises people. The Jorogumo's real weapon isn't the web, it's beauty used as bait. And the whole world feared that.
Other countries have a Jorogumo.
Cousins in spirit, all lovely, all lethal. In Greece, the Siren, whose song lures sailors onto the rocks. In the rivers of Slavic Europe, the Rusalka, a drowned maiden who combs her hair and sings men under the water. In West Africa, Mami Wata, a dazzling water spirit it's wise to admire only from the bank. And in Greece again, Arachne, the proud weaver the gods turned into a spider, the West's own woman into spider.
The same trap, everywhere.
Beauty as the hook. So tell me, who's the beautiful, dangerous spirit of your country's stories?
Is it always a woman, though?
Almost always, and almost always aimed at men. These tales are old warnings dressed as romance, that beauty offered too freely is a hook, and the careless are the catch. The Jorogumo just makes the metaphor literal. The web was always there, desire is simply what stops you seeing it. Today you can visit her haunts yourself. Joren Falls in Izu is a lovely tourist spot, wasabi fields along the stream, wasabi ice cream at the tea house, green water, and a small statue of the spider woman herself, about 2.5 hours south of Tokyo. Just maybe don't dangle your feet by the plunge pool. And artists adore her, because a beautiful enemy who turns monstrous is the oldest trick that still works. The spider demons of Demon Slayers Mount Natagumo, the Mononoke of Dororo, Holic Silk Spinner, a recurring boss in Neo, a medal in Yokai Watch. She endures because she's such a perfect, uncomfortable idea, that the most beautiful thing in the forest might be the most dangerous. And that is the Jorogumo, patient, elegant, and the deadliest thing in the forest, the spider who learned to smile. So the next time something seems too lovely to be true by a quiet waterfall, remember her, and check the ground for silver threads. If you're enjoying these, subscribe, a new yokai every couple of nights, and a whole playlist waiting. Next time, a woman who looks utterly ordinary by day, until her neck unspools across the room at night, the Roku Bee. Until then, watch your step. 2 more worlds await. Monster Atlas, the folklore monsters of the world. And Fae Atlas, its fairies and spirits.